This is the Engwe Y600 electric scooter. It's a pretty nice scooter, except for there's two things that I absolutely can't stand about it. So in today's video, we'll start things off with a quick overview of the features and specs. I'll take you out on a ride to show you how it performs in the real world, and I'm going to show you those two things that I absolutely hate and whether they are a deal breaker or not. We've got a lot to get to today. We're going to have some fun, so stick around for today's episode of Hobart's Reviews. Let's go. All right guys, so here's the Engwe Y600 electric scooter. Now if you've seen my iEnyrid M4 Pro S Plus video, this looks almost exactly like it, but they have done some upgrades that I do like. So I'm gonna do a couple comparisons as we do an overview of the scooter real quick. Let's go ahead and start off in the front. All right, so here in the front, we got 10x3 or 10x4 pneumatic tires. There is a tube inside there. These are on-road and off-road tires, so you can ride them on both. You've got front disc brakes and rear disc brakes, and you've got front suspension. Now this is one of the upgrades from the M4 Pro S Plus, as they had springs up front. This looks like they've got front hydraulic suspension, and the big deal is that when I was going over bumps on that M4 Pro S Plus, I would hear a popping noise or a clickety clank every single time. This one is quiet, so upgrade right there. Also, the brightest, if not one of the brightest, stock headlights I've ever seen on a scooter. This is incredibly bright. You can see at night, no problems. You don't even need a second light, so huge upgrade right there. Now normally you're going to see like a latch here to be able to fold the scooter down, but the latch is actually down here on the deck, and I'm going to show you a quick little demo here in just a couple of minutes on how you do that. All right, looking at the deck, I think it's about 9 inches wide, 8 inches wide, and it is, as far as foot space, you've got about 16 inches, and I think that's a little bit short for standing. Now you can remove this seat here and put on a rear foot pedal or a place to put your foot, but it's still not long enough in my opinion. Plus, the scooter slants in this direction, so it doesn't give you much room. You kind of have to stand to the rear of the deck in order to be comfortable. Moving to the back, this is where you're going to have your rear suspension. You've also got rear disc brakes. In there is your 600 watt motor, 830 watt peak. You've also got your tail light, which lights up when you put your headlights on here. And you can fold down this seat, so you can adjust it up and down. I'll take that out. And you can take this latch, push this button here, and actually fold this down so you can put it in your car. To put it back up again, you're just going to push this button, get that latched in, and you put your seat back in, close that down, and you're ready to go. Now there is spring suspension up here as well, so it does bounce when you go over bumps. And let's go ahead and let me show you the latch. All right, so you kind of have to be standing up to do this. Now, the latch is right here on the deck, and this here is a little safety pin. Right now I have it engaged, so it will not allow this red pedal to go down and fold the scooter while I'm riding. But you want to pull this out and turn it so that it catches on that little knob right there, and now I'm able to push this pedal down and fold the scooter. Now, it's not the easiest thing to do, so I'm going to have to stand up, use my feet, and try to see if I can get this thing to fold. There we go. So now, with it folded, you can see if you put your seat down, you can fold this thing right up, and then you can fold your handlebars, of course, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So to put this back up again, when you're ready to ride, you get it like this, get it almost up, and you just give it a pop. And now it's locked in, ready to go. Well, since we're up here in the cockpit, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on up here. So when I said fold your handlebars a second ago, what I meant was you can unscrew this aluminum piece here, and you can fold both handlebars down so that you can get it into your vehicle. Locks into place, and just screw it back on. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you've got your headlights. You've got blinker left and blinker right, and it does make a sound when the blinker is on. And you also have a horn. On this side, you got your key, your voltmeter, and a newer TF100 thumb throttle, or finger throttle. So this is gonna be an upgrade from the M4 Pro S Plus as well. It had a little bit of an older model, so I do like this, even though I'm not a fan of these finger throttles. Now you can, with this little Allen key here, adjust your grips. And they do have this palm rest, so you can adjust them however you like. So that is an overview of the Y600. Let's go ahead and get out on the road, take it for a ride, and let me show you how it performs. All right, so I always start things off with an acceleration test since we have a full battery. I'm currently at 54.2 volts. We are in speed mode 3. We're gonna see how long it takes us to get to the top speed. Now, I've only been able to get to about 27 or so. Top speed's 28. So we'll see how long it takes to get to 27, all right? Let's go ahead and go. .27 and 17, it's not too bad. Acceleration's actually pretty nice on this thing. I'm really happy with it actually. For a single motor, 600 watts. Now as you see, I'm kind of sitting low on this thing. The seat post is not very tall, and I'm gonna give you a little early hint. It might be one of the two things that I don't really like about this scooter, and any scooter, as a matter of fact, that has a seat post, because I feel like the manufacturers think we're short. And when I'm sitting on this, I'd much rather be, you know, up here than down here. And when you add the spring in there, it takes a couple more inches away, and I feel like an adult on a kid's toy. All right, we're doing 20 miles an hour. We're gonna go ahead and do a brake test. We're gonna see what happens when I slam on the brakes at 20 miles an hour. Let's go. Wow, holy moly. And we even left ourselves a nice little trail back there too. Look at that, about a 8 to 10 foot trail. Well, I'm gonna give a A+ to these disc brakes. They work extremely well. That was a good brake test. So brakes work good, no problems there. Carry on. Now, one of the things that's upgraded from the M4 Pro S Plus is the front suspension is not those loud springs. We have hydraulic suspension. So when we go over bumps just like that, you don't hear a clickety clank, just like that. So I'm really impressed, and I like the Y600 front suspension much better. All right, so I wanted to stop and show you guys how to unlock the extra speed on the Y600. So when it comes from the factory, it's gonna be speed limited to around 20 miles an hour. And in order to unlock that, you have to do a special combination of things, and I'm gonna show you real quick. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is hold on to your brake. Then you're gonna turn the key on, you're gonna power on your throttle, and then you're gonna pull the throttle 1, 2, 3 times. Let go of the brake, and now you'll be able to go up to 30 miles an hour, depending on your weight. I get between 26 and 28, but that's the way you gotta do it. Pull the brake, turn the key on, power on your throttle, 1, 2, 3 times. You pull on your throttle, and you've unlocked the extra speed. All right, guys, I wanna do a suspension test here. We're getting ready to go over some, you know, rough pavement, some decorative rock, and I wanna see how this thing handles. No clickety clanks, it's handling it nice. It's a lot of really small divots and indentations in the road, so you know it's really testing that suspension. Let's see how fast we can go on it. 20, 22, 23. So the suspension works pretty nicely. All right, so let's go ahead and do a hill test real quick. Now I am on the grass, so that we have to take in consideration, but it says it can only go up 15-degree slopes. Well, this hill in front of me by the green here is much more than that. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a running start and if we can get up the slope. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, easily. So that is not a problem. So not too bad of a hill test. What about this one over here? You think we can get up that one? Let's go ahead and try. We can get up this one, 5 stars. Whoa, no, we're not getting up that one. I tried, right? Here's another hill. Let's go ahead and see if we can get up this one with a little bit of a running start. And it's still trying. We're at 2. Can we make it? Can we make it? Can we? Oh, I say we're pretty much at the top. I mean, really? Come on. We'll give it to them. It's not too bad. It's definitely better than 15 degrees. So hill climb test, A+. All right, so thing I hate number one about the Y600, and it doesn't go just for this scooter, it goes for all scooters that have seats. And that's the fact that they do not give us a tall enough seat post. Now, if they would give us a seat post with about, I don't know, 8 to 10 more inches on there, that would help out a lot, but this just isn't enough. Plus, you have this little spring here in the suspension and the seat that when you sit down on it, you lose another couple inches as well. So, thing I hate number one is that all of the scooter companies give us these seats where we ride like little kids on the scooter. Now, it's something that can be fixed. It's not a deal breaker. You can buy a longer seat post. You can get one without the spring. I've done that to my D6 Plus, my Nan robot, and I sit up like this. My handlebars are up, and I'm sitting riding comfortably with my legs not so bent. So not a deal breaker, but definitely something that I do not like about this and all scooters that have the seat. All right, so it's time for number two thing that I hate about this electric scooter and any other electric scooter that does not have this feature. So most scooters that I've had to change a tire on before have been the split rim configuration, which means you take a bunch of bolts out all the way around the rim, the two halves come apart, you change your tube, you put the two halves back together, and you install it and you're off riding. This one, though, I found out does not have that. And you have to use brute strength and force in order to peel it off of the rim, which is not easy to do, and then replace your tube and somehow get it back on again using a screwdriver or something to get the tire on without popping the tube. It's really not a good method to do. It took me about 2.5 to 3 hours in order to get the tire changed. It's long for my first time, and I'm sure I'll get quicker, but it's still a pain in the butt, and I was cursing up a storm in the garage. My wife didn't know what was going on. Anyways, that's number two thing I hate. Any electric scooter that does not have split rim, not worth my time. Now when I'm under full throttle, I'm at 47.7 volts. Remember, we started at 54.4, and it looks like we're about a little over 8 miles in. So I don't think we're gonna be getting 43 miles on a single charge. Maybe more like 15 to 20. All right, so we're on a final run back to home base. We're down to 47 volts under full power. I'm going against the wind, 24 miles, 25 miles an hour. All right, so let's see what the final tally is here. And it's looking like we did 11.63 miles. And it looks like we're at, when we're sitting here still, we're at about 48.5 volts. We started off at 54.4. When I'm under power, I'm at about 47. So while I've gone almost 12 miles, I'm thinking you could probably get about 20 miles, maybe a little bit more before it runs totally dry. If you're gonna be riding in speed mode 3 like I am, and you weigh about my weight. Of course, if you're lighter than me, you're gonna get a little bit more. If you're riding slower, you're gonna get a little bit more. But this is to test the worst case scenario. If you wanna just ball out and ride out and have some fun, ride up some hills, do some brake tests, have an acceleration test, ride around the golf courses, ride on some gravel. So it was a lot of fun today. So let's go ahead and get to my pros and cons. Number one con, of course, is going to be the short seat post. All electric scooter manufacturers do not give us a long enough seat post. Now, this is something you can fix yourself. You can purchase one from Amazon easily for just a few bucks and solve that problem. But I plead with the manufacturers to please give us another 8 to 10, 12 inches of seat post on there so that we can sit a little bit higher. Also, the changing of the tires, especially the rear tire with the power cable, keeping that wheel about that far from the scooter at all times, it's really hard without the split rim to try to peel that tire and tube off and get a new one back on using a screwdriver to poke around without popping the tube inside. So that is definitely a con. But for the price, you're getting a lot of great scooter here. $5.99 at the time of the taping on sale. $6.99 is the normal price. You're getting a lot of scooter for the price. That's a great deal. You get 600 watt motor with 830 watt peak. You get a top speed of 28 miles an hour, which is easily 8 to 10 miles an hour faster than other scooters in this price range. You're also getting a range of 20 to 25 miles or so, depending on your weight and how fast you're riding. You also get the front suspension that is not springs like you're gonna find on the iEnyrid M4 Pro S Plus, which is very similar to this one. They've upgraded it with hydraulic suspension, so you don't hear those clickety clanks when you go over bumps and cracks in the road and curbs and things like that. Also, they've upgraded this TF100 finger throttle. This is a newer model and more modern model than you're gonna find on the M4 Pro S Plus. These right here also are aluminum instead of plastic like you're gonna find on the M4 Pro S Plus. That headlight is extremely bright. The brightest I've found on any scooter that I've tested, stock scooter. It kills it. It is perfect for night riding. You don't even have to upgrade anything, so I like that. The adjustable handlebars so that you can stand up or sit down is also nice as well. Overall, it's got a lot of great features. For the price, it's a really nice scooter. So if you have any questions or comments here on the Y600, please leave them below. I'm happy to answer anything that you got, the best that I can. And if you want to go ahead and purchase one of these guys, I'm going to leave a link below. It is an affiliate link that helps out my channel but does not cost you a penny more. So I'd appreciate it to go ahead and use that link. And thanks so much for joining me today. If I've earned it, hit that like and subscribe. My name is Hobart for the Engwe Y600 and Hobart Reviews. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.